All right. And you guys, there's only a couple of you on the call, so feel free to unmute yourself. Of course, put yourself in the chat. So, yes, I am recording this. So, if you guys are watching the replay, my name is Ashley Gotch. I am the owner and founder of SureLink Marketing. We are a social media marketing company. We are based in Southwest Florida, and I have been in business almost 13 years now. So, I am proud to say we have a little over 1,200 clients. So we have a side of our business where we actually do the marketing. So if you guys listening, you need help with your marketing. Typically, we do charge $3.99 a month, but with the maximum brand, we are charging you guys $1.99 a month. So $1.99 a month, we post on your socials, we do the whole 9 yards. But fast forward in 2020 during the pandemic, I had basically this realization. I had a couple clients call because back then we were like 279, so we haven't gone up that much, but we were 279 a month, and I was not used to having anybody cancel us unless they were like truly getting out of the business or they just really were falling on hard times or what have you. But I had four people call within an hour when they decided to shut Florida down during the pandemic. And I'm one of those people. I am like, both my parents were in the army, and I am very just a straight shooter as they come. I played basketball my whole life, and I'm just very straight arrow. Okay. And so when that happened, I kind of went into overdrive, and I told my husband, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? I think, like everybody else, I started to panic, and then I prayed, and I thought, okay, I'm going to pivot instead of panicking. Okay. And so fast forward, we have Agentwise Design. We have a little over 10,000 customers with that. So, and you guys, of course, are already one of our customers. Very blessed to work with all of you. But when I built this, I knew that you guys needed, of course, like your flyers, your postcards, and all the different things, right? So this is an insane. You guys are rocking with like seriously one of the best companies. I'm going to toot my horn, and all the people that work for me, they do a really good job. But we really truly are the largest Canva membership. So you guys have this at your fingertips, okay? Every single day. Now, of course, this is Nikki. She's awesome, but she is going through some life things right now. She will be training you guys pretty soon, and you will love everything that she's got to say. But you will see, you will notice her in the membership here and there. So go ahead in the chat, Keisha and Tiffany, or unmute yourself, whatever you want to do. What is your comfort level, with a Canva? Do you know how to use it? Are you kind of experienced? Are you an expert? Let me know.
I'm not an expert, but I'm very comfortable with it.
Comfortable? Okay.
Mhm.
How long you been using it?
Oh, some years now.
For
I would say
years? That's
yeah,
good.
it's been a while, and I've probably been pro maybe the last 2 years or so.
Good.
So,
Good.
maybe a little bit longer, but I can't keep up with the dates, but I've been
Okay.
doing it for a while.
Oh, good. What about you, Keisha?
I'm actually maybe a beginner. I've had Pro for maybe about a year, but I've only just been playing around in there every now and then. So I would say beginner.
Okay. And Linda, what about you?
I've been cheating with my daughter. You know, and I'm getting there. But she just has that mind, and but I have to master it if I'm gonna help out. But I'm getting better with it. I'm getting better with it, and I've been working with the AI and all that too to see
Good.
how I can get
Good.
even better to do my
Oh, yeah.
landing pages and all that.
Well, Linda was on my call just an hour ago or so, where Canva is constantly evolving, and so we're constantly learning. And I am a huge component of you have to keep learning. So I'm thankful for you guys showing up on this call and those watching the replay that you want to learn, right? I think it empowers you to keep making better choices in every aspect of your life. But Canva just come out with some new things, and so while I know for sure I'm an expert, when they come up with new tools, I have to learn it and I have to start over and we have to reinvent the wheel, right? So that's okay. So those that are new to this, I'm going to do my very best to make this easy to follow and easy to understand. Okay. So what is Canva? So Canva is a popular online graphic design platform that allows you guys the variety of visual content, including social media, graphics, all kinds of presentations, flyers, and all of you listening have access to our membership already. So I don't need to sell you to sign up for our membership. You have access. Your broker, paid for all of you to have access. Okay, it is about a $1,200 investment, so that's a pretty awesome deal for you guys. But when I tell you, you have over 4,000 graphics inside Agentwise Design, paired with the millions and millions of designs that Canva has. I know it's overwhelming, but you have everything at your fingertips. But I do want to explain the difference between Canva and between Agentwise Design. So I get a lot of people that say, Ashley, we're talking, they want to sign up for marketing or whatever. They're like, well, what's the difference? I already have Canva. What do I need Agentwise Design for? The main difference is Agentwise Design, we build our templates through Canva, okay? But they are already built for real estate agents, okay? Whereas Canva is just like a hodgepodge of everything, all right? You can absolutely find real estate templates, and I see, quite a few people using them. But keep in mind, you still have to sit there, you have to edit it, you have to maybe tweak it some, you got to do all the things. Doesn't take long, but if you do that every single day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes here, this and that, it adds up. Whereas our membership, this is how I sold it to your brokerages, and every brokerage that bought it. You guys really are in and you're out. You got to do what you're supposed to do and get out, okay? So just keep in mind, while all these amazing things and tools are in there, they're also inside Agentwise Design, but already ready for real estate agents, okay? Um, so both of you or all three of you on the call here, you all have the pro version, but if anybody listening, if you don't have the pro version, you guys, it is worth every single penny. It's $15 a month, or $120 for the year. You do save 2 months. So I always put in here, it saves time and money for you or your assistant or your VA or your admin, whatever it is, okay? And what I mean by that, I've been in business for a long time, and I've had quite a few people come and go, come and go. We've had the same team for quite a while now. I would say like 6 or 7 years. But in the beginning, I had to learn quite a bit, just like any other business owner. And I realized that a lot of people they aren't as, what's the word? Not truthful, but they're not just as loyal as you think they are. They're wasting time. I've caught one girl, she was TikToking during her time she was supposed to be working, that sort of deal. And when you hire these VAs, like most of the time they are not sitting right beside you, right? They're maybe in another country, they maybe work from home, whatever it is. And they might say, all right, Keisha, it took me 30 minutes to design a graphic. And I'm telling you right now, there's no reason you should be hiring anybody that takes 30 minutes to design a graphic when you have this at your fingertips. So if you do have a VA, or if you have an admin already, or a social media manager, I want you to give them access, but please make sure that they aren't using it for other clients if that's that sort of business that they have, okay? But I do want them to use it for you so you can minimize that time that they're spending to create and hopefully not reinvent the wheel, right? Or if you are doing this yourself, again, we don't want you bing bopping all over Canva. We want you in and out and selling houses, okay? But if you are going to design something, like let's just say, for example, I design stuff for the church, or I do stuff for my HOA or whatever, that is not necessarily things that are inside my Agentwise Design membership. I can totally go and manipulate it and do what I got to do with it. But sometimes I'm just looking for a Thanksgiving flyer. So I can go inside Canva and I can start searching for different things in the toolbar. So for those that you feel like, okay, I don't have any experience with this, like Keisha, if you're like, I'm new to this and I'm just kind of finding my way, at least with Agentwise Design, we truly have streamlined it. We've made it super simple, where all you got to do is add the maximum logo. If you add a little bit of the touch of blue or whatever it is, your branding, whatever it is, to your graphics, and then your name and your pictures. Okay, so that's truly what you have to do. And at least, again, with our membership, you are not designing from scratch. Okay. And then this is just a little diagram here. It's just like, okay, here's the free and the pro. The main things are, is the storage. Okay, so like with the free version, you only get 5 gigs of storage. Like that's not a lot at all. And I apologize, 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that. 2-year-old. So, but 5 gigs of storage, that's not a lot. Okay. The pro version, you guys are getting a terabyte of storage. That is significantly different. Okay. You're also getting, 2 million design templates. You're getting all kinds of different graphics and whatnot. And then inside the pro version, you're getting 140 million photos, videos, graphics. So again, significant. $15, you can't beat it, okay? So the history of Canva, I love this. When I started in Canva, it was actually during when they started in 2013. I was one of the first 3,000 members. When I was talking to them, they looked up my account and they said, "Yeah, did you know you were one of the first 3,000 members?" So they started in 2013. I started my business in early 2013 as well. But over a decade later, Canva users have created over 30 billion with a B, designs. Okay. It's used in 190 different countries, and there's over 220 million users. So I was like 3,000. Now there's 220 million people, right? Like that is insane. And so before we move on, I will tell you, Linda learned about this, but this is for everybody listening. So I really hope you guys listen before the 7th. But basically we have my husband, he's really involved in our business. Jimmy's background, he was basically a senior marketing manager for I think a Fortune 100 company, Hertz headquarters. And Jimmy was running multi-million dollar ads. Okay. When he came back to work for our company, we started growing and I was like, "Hey, I can't replace you literally, so please come back." So we lost his salary and that stunk. But you know what, you guys, with the power of, just doing the right thing, consistency, showing up, doing what you're supposed to do, we made up Jimmy's salary in about like a month and a half, not even 2 months. So that was awesome. But I said, "Whatever you are doing for Hertz, I need you to do for my people here." So Jimmy does run ads for people, so he doesn't charge much for it. So he can run ads for you. But recently he came to me, he said, "Hey, you're teaching a lot of classes. I want to get back into teaching as well." So my husband actually is in the middle of building an ads academy. It will be done December 11th. So you will have basically a call on December 11th between 6 and 7. It will be recorded. But he is building all of the different trainings that are like to teach you how to run a Facebook ad to collect buyer leads, teach you how to run an ad to get seller leads, teach you how to boost, properties to get more exposure, all the different things. We will also have all kinds of scripts, all kinds of templates that are not inside Agentwise Design, plug and play things, all the 9 yards. But right now, it is $57 after the 7th. After the 7th, it will be $197. Okay. So if you want that code, just scan that code or get with me and I'll get you over there. Okay. But it all ties into Canva Bootcamp. Everything we're talking about ties into Canva Bootcamp. Okay. So let's head to our main dashboard. So everybody listening and on the call right now, head over to your Canva main dashboard. And actually, we'll pull this one up. So let's talk about this create button. So this button here, okay, on the left-hand side, the little plus button, create. This is where you're going to basically start your projects if you aren't using Agentwise design templates. So for example, let's just say that you do need to make something for, I don't know, like a banner or a yard sign, or maybe you're making something very specific for print marketing, okay? You could come over here and you could type in, you know, anything here. So like, for example, Facebook, okay? We have all of these things, you guys, okay? But let's just say that you want to make a different kind of Facebook cover. You could do that there. But more than likely, what you guys will all be using this for, because you have everything at your fingertips, is the custom size. So over here on this left-hand side on this screen here, so again, I clicked create, and now I'm here where it says custom size. If you are going to send something or anything to the print company, like again, a lot of people do those big banners that are like at the school, like they put them on the fence, or you know, like I know I'm sponsoring one for the gym for basketball season and all that kind of stuff. You go to custom size, and then you put in the width and the, or no, not the width and the height, the inches. You put the width and the height, and you click inches, okay? Keep in mind, and I'm sure if, you know, your print company will say, hey, make sure you don't have a bleed area, which is basically like the corner, so it doesn't cut off your design. So try to keep at least like maybe half an inch where you're not going to be printing there, okay? So they'll tell you what size you need to do, okay? So just that's what that is. The next button here is the home button. So the home button is going to essentially take you to where you can look at your designs, you can search templates, and then this feature is a new thing we'll talk about way later. Linda knows, we won't get into that today, but your designs and templates, okay? Now, I get asked this quite often. People are like, Ash, like, I don't want all this crap on my home screen. Like, how do I get rid of it? Please, you guys, just understand, if you decide to delete something, basically you just hover over it, okay, and click the check button, and then you're gonna delete the little trash can down here. But if you delete it, it's gone. It will be in the trash just for a very little bit of time, and you have to restore it. So don't go, you know, crazy starting to delete everything. Basically, like, watch. I clicked one, and I can just start clicking, you know. People get happy and they start, you know, deleting all these different things. You don't want to do that unless you need to, okay? But if you need to clean it up, it's fine. But I will say this, these aren't going to go away. So a lot of people are like, I don't want to see all this on the desktop. It's not going to go away. This is basically always going to show you what is recently opened. So if you download one of our templates, if you are working on a project from Linda or whatever it is, right? Like whatever y'all open, that's what's going to be here on this dashboard. And or when you make new folders, like any of your recent activity, essentially, okay? All right, so now this tab here, so that's your designs. Now templates, I did make I think a good example earlier about this. So this is where you'll find everything in known to man and their mother from Canva. Okay, so if I type in whoa, that just got super bright. Sorry. If I type in real estate here, Canva's going to pull all the things that are real estate related and designed. So you can, of course, sort it by category. So I did make this an example earlier, and I want to explain it to you guys as well. If you do sort it by category and you click Instagram posts, I do want you to note the size, okay? Instagram did this like overnight without even like a pre-warning to anybody, certainly not us, you know, companies that spend a lot of money with them. They changed their sizing. So I guarantee you, Tiffany, Keisha, and Linda, I guarantee you, if you go on your Facebook page, you're going to see your feed. It's like a little funky towards like some older posts because everything was a square, right? I want everybody listening and everybody on this call now to understand, when we design everything inside of Agentwise Design, unless it is a document and or like a presentation, it is sized for Instagram. We do that because Instagram is the only social app that's a little funky with how because it's a feed, right? Like they want it to be aesthetic. So we size it for Instagram, but that doesn't mean it can't go on Facebook. That doesn't mean it can't go on, LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, right? It will go on there perfectly fine, but vice versa, if you make a Facebook post, okay, and then you're trying to put that size on Instagram, it's going to look funky and cut off. So the best order of operations, I guess, is if you are like when we post for our clients, we post on their Instagram and then we let it feed into Facebook, or we post on Facebook and let it feed into Instagram, and then we just manually go on LinkedIn. But I want y'all to know is like when you come in here into the membership and you go into, social posts, whatever it is, okay, it's sized 4-5. That's the name of it. So I'm going to show y'all what that looks like here. So you go to create, and then you're going to come up here to social media, and you will see it says Instagram 4-5. That's the size we design in. That's the size you want to design if you are making your own graphic, okay? Okay, so but real estate, so again, because you got to keep in mind, Canva does not know nor care that like what your feed personally looks like. We know and we care that we want our clients and our customers to look good online. It represents you, you're happy with us, you're happy with the product, and it represents us in a way too, because I take pride in we take pride in making all of these things that we're doing here, okay? So if you are going to use this search feature for whatever reason, real estate, Instagram posts, you definitely want to resize these, okay? Don't just straight up post a square. All right, next thing here is templates. That just takes you there. Now your brand. So my girls on the call, do y'all already have headshots and your own brand? And feel free to unmute if you'd like.
Yes.
Yes?
And I have
Do
a brand kit.
Do you know if you have it set up on your brand kit?
I do.
You do? Okay. There's a couple different ways you guys can do this, okay? So mine is definitely the most updated version right now. Yours may look a little different. So when you click brand, it might like have, it just might look different than this, but what you're essentially looking to navigate to is where it says colors, photos, and logos, like these main 3 things here, okay? So let's get started with the colors first. So Tiffany said I need to update my brand. And to my knowledge, I don't want to speak for each office, but I do know some offices. So maybe check with Dana or Michelle or whomever. But to my knowledge, I think you guys can have a brand as well outside of Maximum. Just maybe get permission. Most offices operate that way, but either way, by law, you need to put Maximum One on your graphics, and it needs to be legible. Get the brand kit. I don't have that in front of me right now. I apologize, but you guys all have a brand kit. It's a very specific blue. Black is black, white is white, okay? Some of the offices, not you guys, but I think platinum. So Tracy's office, they have like a little bit of silver going on. But anyways, you're essentially what you're going to do is you're going to navigate to colors inside your Canva. You're going to go to add category. Yours might say add palette. This is what you're looking for. And then you're going to start a custom palette, and you're going to scroll all the way. Oh, here we are, actually Maximum. So this is one of your blues. This is a different guy in your office. Well, a different office, but you're going to come down here to color palette, and you're going to name it whatever you want. Okay. So like my brand colors. And then you're going to click this color wheel. Now the color wheel is just like a paint can. So when you go to get paint at Lowe's or Home Depot or Sherwin-Williams or whatever, they're assigned a code. So every color has a code. So if you like a picture, like I am obsessed with like Lily Pulitzer and stuff like that. And it's like a very specific pink, a very specific blue, you know, very bright colors. Well, I don't know those colors, and I'm sure Lily Pulitzer's not sharing their color wheel with everybody. But I can take a picture of something that I have and I can load it in here, and I can use this little dropper tool to find any color of the rainbow. So let's say that I like the color of this. I have my mouse over here in the left-hand corner. Let's say I like the color of this blue in the Canva logo. That's that blue. Okay. So get it cleared with your broker, but just let me tell y'all this from a design, aesthetic, you know, kind of vibe or whatever. Less is more. That blue for maximum is very blue. So you don't want to be like, you don't want to be overpowering. When we designed all of these templates, they are all neutral. So black, white, tan, you know, what have you. I think add the blue. It's a very pretty blue, but it's overpowering too. So don't do too much. Okay. Does that make sense? It's like you're not going to do too many pattern mixings. I see some people, they got orange and yellow and green and like all the colors of the rainbow. And you want to keep in mind, like your impressions matter. You know, your marketing, the way it looks, that matters. Okay. So keep that in lock there. Um, and then let's see, and then basically you're going to kind of go down the line. Like you can upload, this is where you would upload your logos and or the company logos. They absolutely have the versions for you. So you want to get the white one, get the black one, and get the colored one. And you want to make sure that they all have the background removed. So Linda, if you are placing these for the girls on your team, if you're helping them and just getting that all set or whatever, make sure you're using the PNG version with the background removed so it don't look, you know, outdated. I see people leave the box, and that's up to you if that's what you like, but I'll just tell you that is such a outdated way of thinking with your marketing nowadays. You can upload your own fonts. Canva has so many fonts. I don't know why you would, unless it's like a very specific like calligraphy of your name or something like that that you bought. And in that case, basically you come in here and I make stuff for like my friends and stuff like that for Christmas and whatever. So I have a ton of fonts that I bought. But basically you would come over here and you would upload your own fonts, okay? The rest of this stuff, photos, this is where you might want to drag and drop your headshots. This is one way you can do it, your brand photos. The other stuff you're honest to God not going to use, okay? I don't want to get too much in the AI. That's a whole nother class we'll teach. And then when you click this more, Canva basically has a gazillion and one apps within itself. So they partnered, I showed Linda earlier, with a really cool company called Hayzine. They partner with Flowdesk. I'm working on some Flowdesk stuff for people and for all of you for the membership. But you know, just check it out. Like come in here to apps and just like literally check it out. There's no way I could go over any of this. We would be here for like days. But you can see like they partnered with MailChimp, like that's a big one. They partnered with Sprout Social. I mean, there's so many apps. Play around with it, okay? All right, so let's get back to this. So different types of content. I don't think I need to go through this with you guys, but this is the different types of things we have in the membership, the dashboard. I don't want to sell y'all on this, but if it is a need for you guys or anybody listening, we started doing this for people because I realized there was a need. I had a lot of people saying, oh, I just need help updating my Canva. It's so unorganized. I can't find anything. And you guys, time is money, money is time, okay? When everybody learns that, everything is smooth sailing in your business from here on out. But if you can't find anything, or if you're frustrated, guess what you're going to do? You're going to click out and you're going to do something else. And when you don't do your marketing and when you aren't consistent with it, you're missing so many opportunities. I'm speaking from somebody who we do their marketing. I had someone just get a $4 million listing. I had someone just sell, it was like a package of condos to an investor because of her marketing. I have people constantly getting listings because of their marketing. So it matters about your time and all the things that you spend. So I have this, if anybody does want that, it's always $150. But essentially we go inside Agentwise Design, we make you every single folder that we have. So it's already in your Canva, it's good to go. I'll fix your brand kit. So like Tiffany, I see you say I need to update my brand, like we could talk about that if you want, but we do all the things, okay? And then I do jump on a one-on-one call with you. One of us will jump on with you one-on-one, and we teach you like, hey, this is where you find this. This is how you streamline your life. Because I know it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to me too sometimes, trust me. So brand kit, so we kind of talked about that. This is what I was saying, like, let's just pretend that this was my Lily Pulitzer. I'm looking to grab that pink. What you do is like you click into the image and then you click into one of the colors, okay? Then you click the plus button and you take this little dropper tool and you can, find any color, okay? So that's what that's all about. Let me undo that. So if you ever feel like you messed something up, you didn't, there's this undo button up here, okay? We talked about your Canva. Okay, so do you ladies on this call all have headshots / brand photos? You can unmute or chat or whatever.
I do
I
have
have
one, but it needs to be updated. It's about 3 years old.
same here. It needs to be
Okay.
updated.
Okay. So for the longest time, I don't know how to explain it. Like I have a 2-year-old, I had a baby, I used to be real skinny, and then I gained weight, and then I just like I'm a woman, okay, and I just was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to take photos. And finally, Nikki actually, so I'm 35. Nicole is just 50 now. And she was out here rocking it and taking these photo shoots. And I'm over here like fangirling and being jealous at the same time. And she's like, Ashley, just do it. So I'm with a lot of you. If you're listening, you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to update it, for whatever reason. But I'll tell you what, I hired a girl basically that does like family photos and that kind of stuff, like senior photos, wedding photos. I hired her. She charged me $250. She gave me so many photos. It was like 60, 70 photos, something like that. I kept 25 of them. I have always attracted all kinds of different people to us, but I noticed when I started using my professional photos, I started email marketing more, I started putting myself out there, like my actual face more. Because a long time, it's not that I was like shy or nothing like that. I just really was running a company. I was running behind a brand, and then things changed. People started connecting, like the way that people perceive business, the way that they buy things with you all, with me, things changed, right? And I realized there was a shift. And unlike a lot of people where they give up or they don't do, like AKA take photos or go do the things they're supposed to do, I said, all right, I have to have the courage. I have to pivot. And when I did that, you guys, I started attracting people like-minded for one, and two, I started attracting higher quality caliber of people. Okay. So it's important that you have your headshots. Also keep in mind, you guys have this membership, right? You don't want to just have 1 or 2 photos. Let's have fun with your marketing, right? You're all beautiful, everybody's good looking, everybody, all the things, right? Feel confident in yourself and your marketing that you can go have fun with it again. Okay. And I would say a good place to start, like I said, I just basically hired a girl that like does family photos and whatever. But I know that there's so many, at least in Southwest Florida, I'm sure there in the Atlanta area. My little sister sells at Mercedes-Benz a Buckhead, so she's there doing her thing or whatever. But they brought in a photographer for their people, you know what I mean? So like it's a thing, right? There's a lot of people, a lot of lenders that offer this, and a lot of real estate photographers are starting to offer like the lifestyle shoots. So reach out to your people and get that done, okay? I would say, I'm not going to say, hey, crossing the arms, like that's not, it's still a thing, okay? But I think nowadays to freshen it up and keep yourself relevant and all the things. Nowadays, you know, go into a house, do the lifestyle shoots. If you're selling in Buckhead or if you're selling wherever the heck you're selling, you know, maybe go outside, take those kind of photos too. Just have fun with your marketing. Now, a pro tip that you guys, or a pro version thing that you can do, you can't do with the free version, is removing of the background, okay? So I'm going to, and I'm glad I actually did this earlier, because I'm going to show you a different way. So Linda saw me edit that in real time of somebody's, they had a background essentially. I'm going to show you how I also use these folders, Linda, to streamline and make my designing a lot faster. So I'm on a blank screen here. You come over here to projects. I know I need to get and navigate to Agentwise design. Then I come here to Sherlock marketing. Then I go to stock photos. Then I go to feminine. I just know that, right? But you're going to navigate to whatever you want. You can bring in different things. So if you don't upload your photos in the brand kit, you can upload them in a folder and just quickly have them like this as well. So we're going to put these two women here, and I'm going to show you quickly how you can edit that background, of course. And earlier I stumbled upon something that's kind of cool. This girl has a blue blazer on, and I was like, oh, the color wheel's there. And this does not work with every photo. I don't know the rhyme or reason, or if Canva is going to kind of streamline and make it better. But let's make her in this olive green. That was cool. Let's put her in black and brown and red, you know. So
No, I like that.
I know, me too. So if you're going to go get photos, Tiffany, like maybe think about plain, right? And I think nowadays most photographers are going to tell you don't try to be too crazy with your tops, you know, but like maybe do a couple of them in a plain color, and now we can have fun with it. Now she's got a plain color on, but I don't think it worked for her. Yeah, so it's no rhyme or reason. I don't know what the deal is, but there's other ways we can change your outfit anyways. But what I wanted to show y'all with these photos, so let me click it. And when you click a photo, you're going to have your toolbar up here, and it says BG Remover, Background Remover. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, now oops, sorry. Let's do hers. And I purposely chose this one because her braids and then the way her hair is flowing. So BG Remover, and look at that, it takes everything out. Now, if anybody's ever used Photoshop, you know that that was such a pain, especially these little crevices here. Like, man, that would take quite a bit, 10, 15, 20 minutes, okay? So click of a button, that's easy to do. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but let's put her in this color blue. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but when we design these graphics, okay, we're not saying like, okay, if you don't have a full body shot, we're not saying, hey, well, that sucks, you can't use that template. All of our stuff, you guys can move around, you can adjust, you can do whatever. But I will say that the more modern agents, the more modern marketing nowadays is the background cutout. Now, there's a couple different things you can do now with these shadows. So we've got this girl cut out here. There's different ways to do shadows. So what you'll do is, and by the way, you always want to pull yourself down. You don't want to cut your legs off. You're not floating in midair. You're not a genie, okay? Don't cut your legs off and pull them all the way down, okay? I see some people, I don't know why, but they'll like literally have like the top of their head cut off right there, like that. So just make sure you got it all together there. But if you want to add a shadow, you don't have to do this. I think it just kind of looks nice on certain designs. But you'll basically click that photo you did, click edit, go to over here on the left, click shadows. The ones that we typically do are the glow and the drop. So I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to put her down here. Her legs are you know, there. So if we go to edit and then we go to shadows and I click glow, I want you to notice it brought the design up. So again, you just want to drag it down, okay? You can change the blur amount, the size amount, the intensity of this shadow. There may be times where like we have really dark designs like a black background and you want a white shadow, like a white glow. So let me show y'all like what that would look like. So let's say that this is a black background, so you got that. So we'll use that shadow sometimes. Most of the time, I actually like the drop one. The drop's just a little bit not so crazy. And I can bring that angle and you can mess around with all that and the intensity and, you know, do all that, okay? The other thing would be outline. So if you want to outline something, you can do, that's strange. Why is it showing that? Hold on, let me make this white. Canva's been crazy today. Let's outline her. There we go. I don't know. She wasn't outlining for some reason. So if you want to outline something, the only reasons like you may use this is it is trending. I will give it that. The kids or younger crowd, whatever, they're calling these stickers. Okay, they're making it look like it's like a scrapbook. But what I personally would use it for, if I were getting back in real estate or whatever. Matter of fact, actually, when my team's like pressing me to start doing YouTube videos, I don't want to, but we have to. But if you ever notice that somebody's got like the cover photo on their YouTube channel or their YouTube videos or their reels or their stories or their TikToks, they are outlining these things to make them pop. So they might have like a picture of Atlanta and then like here's Tiffany or Keisha or Linda, right? You guys are outlined with a white or like a hot pink or that blue, you know, just to kind of draw a little bit of attention to your stuff. Of course, you can outline like your text, the same deal. You would just basically outline it same way. So that's what that is. Now Canva, the translation thing, this is a little bit different. Okay, let me actually open up. Let me open up a thing here. So let's open up bundle one. I'm gonna press edit. Oh man, Linda, did you notice that? I had to take these animations off. Let me take that off. Remove. There we go. Okay. So the translation, okay. So they do translate in over 100 different languages. And basically what you want to do is you're going to click whatever you need to translate. So the text, you're going to click these three dots. You're going to come down here to translate text, and then you're going to put whatever you need. So if I say Spanish, I don't speak a lick of Spanish, but everybody thinks I'm Hispanic, but I'm not. So I don't speak any Spanish, but I do, and I have been told quite a few times now that it is a different dialect or different, you know, like if you've got Spain versus you've got Colombia, you know. So whatever it is, just make sure you guys read it before. But what Canva did come out with, this is brand new that I've noticed anyways in the past week, that if I do translate this, I've got options now. I can translate the original. I can make it sound professional, conversational, friendly, informative, or inspirational. So that's kind of basically what my people were saying when I actually taught a class like a couple months ago. That's why I know that this is new. They said, you know, that's not really like the proper way, or it's too proper, or it's not proper enough, right? So I'm assuming they had quite a few complaints, and that's why they changed that. Now, if you want to do multiple different things, of course, you're going to just basically click, you know, whatever you need and translate. Okay. And it's going to translate it to Spanish or Arabic or German or whatever. Okay. So that's what that is. Now tidy up. I actually used this today. I had a client that needed a Facebook banner done, and I just noticed that when she sent me back the template or whatever it was, I noticed things were just off a little bit. But there are some times where it's a glitch in Canva where like I do this so much, and like you can see that these guidelines are here, right? But there are some times, I don't know why, and we've all complained about it to Canva, that it's just off just a little bit. But if I try to move it over manually, it still won't line up, okay? So there are absolutely times where you're going to use this. So what you'll do is, like, let's just say that this is a check mark, or in my instance, it was the tiny little cell phone icon, the email icon, and then the little web, like for her website. I could tell that they were just off, and like I kept trying to move, it wouldn't work. So I clicked each icon, and what you'll do is you'll click them. And so what I'm doing is I click one, then I hold down shift and I click the others. Or you could take your mouse and you can do this. Either way, you just want to kind of get them together. You do not want to group them though, okay? You just want to highlight them. You're going to take the three dots here, you're going to go to space evenly, and you're going to press tidy up. And it's going to put them perpendicular and, you know, all that, okay? So it'll tidy it up. You will use this, I promise. And sometimes too, and it's not the fact that our templates are off. Just sometimes, especially Linda listening, when you share something, it's like when you email a picture again and again and again, it starts to lose its quality of like the pixels. Okay, when you upload it, it loses quality. It's kind of the same deal. I don't know the inner workings of the web, but it's kind of the same deal with Canva. When you share templates, sometimes things get stretched too much, or they get like compact or whatever. So it's not the fact that we just jacked it up, we didn't know what we were doing when we designed it. Sometimes they just shift, okay? So you just want to make sure you do that. Now, all of our templates, there's a spot for where you are going to add your branding. And that's why I said it's super important that y'all have nice photos, because you don't want to see the same glamour shot over and over again. It starts to become redundant, you know? So if you're listening when I talked about the headshots, like if you were like me, I was like, I'm dragging my feet, I don't want to do this. You can do AI nowadays, but let's just be real. Some people are making fun of you for your AI photos. So just keep it cool, calm, collected. But there are cool apps out there. I like an app called Mid Journey. I like, of course, Google Gemini. I think that's okay. But there's quite a few apps out there, but just making sure it looks like you if you're not going to take photos, okay? But y'all are going to have a lot of fun with your marketing when you have more options, I promise. And again, I just want to tell you, by law, please make sure that you put your logo for the office. All right, we will stop at this last section here, and then I'll answer some questions, and we'll have to continue. And this is pretty much where I continue with every other office as well. But how to download your design. So this is, I get this question quite often. So when you're in one of our designs, again, I'm going to reiterate, you're going to download it, name it if you want to, then you're going to file and move it to your folder. That is the first step, okay? Then you're going to go through and start working. So each one of our social posts here, you guys, they have 20 templates. I know that because this is page 1. See that right there? Page 1 of 20. Sorry, excuse me. 1 of 20, okay? If I want to see a grand layout of everything, you're just going to click grid view, and you're going to be able to see everything that's in that bundle, okay? If you want to close that grid view, and of course you can move things around, like if I want to put this here and so on and so forth, whatever, you're going to close that grid view, okay? But if I want to download something, and the reason I did this, I get this question a lot as well before I show you this. Ashley, how come you have 20 templates in one bundle? How come why can't we see one by one? Well, first of all, we're not a small membership. We're a large membership, and we're going to continue to be a large and grow membership. Like this month, I loaded like 70 items. Next month, I'm sure I'm going to load close to the same because it's the holidays and all the cool things we're coming out with. But if we did that one by one, y'all would be scrolling for years and years and years, okay? So we have to bundle these. So even though it's 20 now, next year they might jump up to be 50 in a bundle. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we do that intentionally so also you can work down the line. So Linda, if you are working on bundle 1 or bundle 2 or whatever it is for the girls or for the team, you basically are going to go down the line. And when I teach you guys the batching your content, I am going to teach your office individually, but I'm going to be teaching that this month as well inside the membership. So look for my emails on all that stuff. But when I teach you guys this, I promise you, we teach it to you where you can do your own marketing in like, I don't know, less than 2 hours for the whole month. Okay. We want you to go through it. We want you to understand, like, okay, how can I get the verbiage and how do I download and all that, right? So that is why we do that. Now, downloading. So I'm in page 1, okay? You're going to come over here to share. You're going to press download. I wish it said just download, but you go to share, then you go to download. It's always going to suggest the file type. It is suggesting an MP4 a video because earlier on my call today, I made this an animated graphic. So go ahead and click the file type. For social media, y'all want to use PNG. You also don't really want to make this any bigger than it is. So just kind of keep that default there. Now, think of, so work down the line. So, and I want you to read these two. JPEG, best for sharing. You can do JPEG on social. It's just not as crisp. And if you are going to add any bit of red to your marketing, definitely don't do JPEG, do the PNG. So either one of these for social, but PNG is just a little bit more, you read it here. It says best for complex images or illustrations. This would be a complex image. It's different, layers, okay? So download PNG. Now I only want page 1. I don't want pages 1 through 20. So think of like a printer, and when you collate pages to print, I only want page 1. But let's just say that I want page 1 and I want page 15, okay? You'll do that and then you'll press done and it will download, okay? The other things that are in here, PDF standard, so best for documents and emailing. So if you're going to send your newsletter, okay, if you're going to send your listing presentation, your buyer guides, your seller guides, any of the freaking guides that we have, that's the button that you're going to use, PDF standard. If you're going to print something like a business card, like I said, a banner, flyers that you're physically going to print and put in the open house or whatever, an open house sign-in sheet, you're going to use PDF print, okay? It is totally different. Your print company, when you are going to get something largely printed, definitely PDF print. Now, when you get to PDF print, they did just add these options. They're new. So click the little I, but crop, marks, and bleed. Okay. So ours, I don't think there's too many of our templates if we do put the bleed mark, but basically that's there. So you can set, it says include crop marks and bleed if you're trimming this design after printing. You're not going to use this other stuff. And same deal, you're going to click, what it is, the color profile, the RG best, this is best for digital use and best for printing. So if you're printing, it's best this one here, okay? If you're constantly doing something like printing, like a certain whatever it is, right? Just save the download settings and it will remember. Okay. One other thing I will show you under, if you go to share while we're in this. So I showed Linda and Tiffany and Keisha on this call. If you need to work on a project with a team member, there's different ways. First of all, you definitely want to set them up as your team. But second of all, you're going to come up here into the plus button and that's where you'll add their name, okay? If you need to send a template link to your VA or your admin or somebody like that, there's different options. You can, but you guys listening, you do not have permission to send these templates outside of your organization, okay? So please don't do that. I had to shut someone completely off. I saw some of my templates on Etsy and trust me, we've got people looking, and I also pay a service that searches for that stuff. So, so don't do that, okay? So you're gonna go to share brand template. What that is if you are, like I said, wanting to work on a project with people, keep in mind you're all working on one thread. So if I change this to brown and I send it to Linda and she changes it to blue and I change it back to brown, well, it's brown again. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. That's what that is. Now, template link, that is essentially that, like, let's just say that your VA, you don't really trust them with your password or whatever, but you want them to work on the templates. This is the button you're going to click, template link. Okay. If you just want to preview and show somebody a preview, maybe you've got a seller that is just a hottie toddy and you know what I mean, one of those, you are going to send them this public view link. Okay. And basically they can't edit anything. They could just see like what you're starting to work on. Okay. And then if you want to, if you don't already have the Canva app on your phone, please put it on your phone. It is literally the best thing, that I have on my phone. I use it every day, all day. But if you like this design, you're like, okay, hey, I'm heading out, or I'm going to be sitting in the car for a while or whatever. All you're going to do is literally go to, again, share, see all, send to phone. And so when you send it to your phone, it's going to open up in your Canva app and you can design it exactly how you were. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, any questions for you guys on the call? Because we'll continue the rest of it part 2 later.
I'm not for sure if when you were saying batching, do you mean like you can put what, like, how do I want to put it? So you know how you said you had all of them grouped together, like everything in this particular, if I wanted to just put my name and number, does batch means that it'll put my name and information on each one of them for me?
Yeah, so what we do, let me see if I can find it for you. It is inside the membership. I just don't know where at the moment, but let me just show you real quick cheat sheet. So we have this somewhere in the membership. I can't remember where at the moment, but it's called a branding cheat sheet. So what y'all do want to do actually is after you set up all your folders, like go ahead and set up your folders like social posts. Maybe you have a folder that's called flyers. You have a folder that's called holidays. Maybe you break it down into holidays, like what, each season or whatever. So go ahead and do all your folders. And then you're going to go into the branding cheat sheet. So like Tiffany, let's say that you've got a couple different brand photos or whatever. You're going to go in and just fill these out. Tiffany Banks, Tiffany Banks, Tiffany Banks. There's my photo, there's a different photo. Cut your background out on some of these. Let me see if I can scroll on. No, this is a different one. But cut your background on. I know it seems like, okay, why the heck do I want to keep putting my face in all this? But there are times where you're like, you know what? I love the way they have this template, but I think my picture personally would look better in this or in this frame. My picture might look better in this one because I'm standing up, but that's not the way Ashley has it. I don't want to go look for that cell phone on a totally different thread. Does that make sense? So now when you're in the template, so like obviously your name and stuff like that, we pretty much use this one the most, like these ones. But whatever it is, let's just say you don't like the way that looks. We're not saying do that. You can totally take this one. You know what I mean? So if you already do it one time, you're literally going to just copy it and paste it. So as you have your templates open, so like Linda, as you're designing or doing whatever for the team, you're going to have this open, but you're also going to have your cheat sheet open, right? So like I could take this chick out of here and I could put someone else in. I could do this, do that, do this, do that. I don't like the way this looks, and I like the way that this one here looked, like that looks so much better to me, you do whatever you want to do. And if you ever feel like you screwed something up again and you didn't, you can press undo. Speaking of that real quick though, you can keep pressing undo, or if you want to work on not the main template, like, once you get familiar with Canva, you'll work on the main one. But maybe as you're learning, this little button here, this little plus button, this is going to duplicate that page above. To delete that, you're going to just press the delete. To make a blank page, that's what this little plus button is here, and that's just going to make like a plain blank page. If you want to move designs up or down, that's what these are, okay? You can also title the page, and I'll tell y'all what we do in-house. When we do our marketing for our clients, mind you, I have over 1,200 clients we do this for, okay? We are in 1,200, I could tell you right now, we have 533 open houses this weekend so far. Okay, that's 533 flyers we had to create. So as we're working, and we're working as fast as we can, we come in here, we'll just put done or posted or skip or whatever. Like I have some clients that are They don't celebrate the holidays, or I have some clients that are vegan and we might have a template that's like for barbecue joints or like whatever, right? We'll put little notes so y'all can do that too right here in the thread. But to your question though, Tiffany, you'll have a cheat sheet in the membership somewhere. I will nail down on email and tell you guys exactly where. But you're gonna just fill, it's 15 pages. I know that's annoying, but it will be helpful when everything's said and done. Um, does that make sense?
It does. Thank you. I've been
Cool.
waiting for something like this.
Yes. And you know what's so crazy is we've had it for years and I don't know why, but I never put it in the membership until like maybe 2 months ago. And I was like, I had a lot of people like, just because, you make typos. We're all human, like, you know how many times I've misspelled my own name too, and then you put it out there, you're not paying attention to it.
Well,
Or
it just
it's
gets
just crazy.
tedious when you're
It is,
doing like several pages and
yeah,
all you need to do is put your name and number and it just gets real tedious. So I think it'll be
yeah.
a good time saver.
It is. And that's why, like, let me give you a real example of a real client. Let me think of somebody who's got good pictures. I think she's in your, I don't know if she's in your office or she's in one of the maximum, but she's got a couple photos, right? So like Shay, all of our marketing clients, like we go ahead and set it up. We even put a link back to that agent's Facebook page, you know what I mean? But she's got different things and we've got, just different styles of how we do her stuff. You know what I mean? So we just go ahead and set everybody up. And like we can post for Shay and I don't know, like literally 20 minutes for the whole month, you know? So,
So this is just her cheat sheet so that you will know how her brand is. Is that what this is?
yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay. And my next question is, you referenced the membership. You've been talking about different things you're offering. How do we know what is included in our membership and what do we have to pay extra for? So I
That's
want to
a great
get
question.
clarification on that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So most of my trainings, if not like 99% of my trainings are free. Jimmy is my husband is coming up with a different, it's more like a course, not so much a class. He's going to have a class to introduce it, but it's more of a course. So this training class, let me send this to y'all in the chat. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to sell you, but I'm just telling you this is worth every penny. Trust me. Typically, it will be 197. It's 57 right now. If everybody uses this um, promo code Canva Bootcamp. But basically, you're going to get all the training that my husband's putting together. So that is different. The only other things outside of, and then I have this is kind of new to me. I've only done this for maybe 10, 15 people or so, but this is a Canva organization. So if you come to me and you say, hey, I just want this cleaned up, this is 150. So we go in and that's where I said we organize your files, do the brand kit, get on that 45-minute call with you, go through everything in the whole 9 yards. But everything that's included for you guys, all of the templates, all the new stuff that's ever loaded, all of my trainings that I teach each month, you guys do get a training with your office, but a lot of them are the same that I'm already teaching. So if you can't make your office, come to mine or go watch the replay. And then you get a discount on the marketing. So marketing outside of Maximum, it is $3.99 a month. And so for you guys, it's $1.99 a month, and we do everything. We do have a package. It's not for everybody. It's for people that maybe have like a larger team, or you're just like you got a slow book of business right now and you need some like new leads, but we do charge $8.99 a month for that. But again, I personally feel like everybody can run their own ads. I think if you run your own ads, why would you pay $8.99? Personally, we don't have too many people at that level. They're my clients are very self-sufficient. Like we do our stuff, we do what we're supposed to do, but I don't, how do I say this in the nicest way? I am not in the business of babysitting real estate agents, right? Like my clients know we do our job, you do your job, we meet in the middle. And that's why a lot of the people have been with me 8, 9, 10 years, because it works for them. Um, and you know, it's affordable, really. But yeah, so that's really, and then the only things I think outside of like, we of course can design logos. You know, like if someone needs, like actually needs a brand kit, like a brand design, we do charge for that. And that's pretty much it, really. Everything else is included. Okay.
The logos that you create, can it be trademarked? Because I know we cannot use trademark Canva logos.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, no, we're making yours from scratch, so it's yours. We will always give you the file as well. So, if you need to change colors or like maybe someone gets married and you change your last name, that kind of stuff, then you're doing that. Like we charge $3.99 for logos, but we don't give you just a logo. We design your cover photo, we design your business cards, your email signature, your, what else do we do? Your what do you call that thing? Your yard signs. And there's something else, your LinkedIn banner. We design all of that included in the $3.99. I just had a pregnancy sonogram lady. She does like sonograms for like pregnancy, like the 3D prints or whatever. Well, anyway, she just hired us to do her logo this morning, so she was the $3.99 as well.
Okay, the last quick thing, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, you're fine.
Can you remind them about this, to download the strategy each month because it goes away?
Yes, yes, good thing. So I might do something, you know, in the future. We got to get a handle on it, but for now, when you guys are inside, thank you for reminding me about that. When you guys are inside Agentwise Design, so you're gonna log in, and what she's talking about is this content strategy here. So this is for my people that could care less that we got all the great templates. They just want to get in and out. And I understand that, trust me. So each day, like November 1st, like what's today? Election day. I didn't do election day because I try to stay away from a lot of that stuff. But on Wednesdays, like we'll do reels. But at the end of every month, though, we do replace this with the new month. So this goes away. So essentially, I know it's a pain in the butt, but if you want to download these, and let's just say you missed a couple, and let's just say you love this template, it says fall in love with your new home. You don't, of course, you can change that to say, I help buyers and sellers and investors, you know, whatever you want. But basically, like I told Linda, you need to open it up in Canva. You need to make your folder, maybe call it November or whatever. And then you need to put it in that folder one by one, unfortunately. It won't be that big of a heavy of a task if you're just doing them one at a time. You know, you're just doing it once a day. So you open it, maybe name it what you want if you need to, file, and then move. That's it. So one at a time. Or again, if you need to hurry up and you're at the end of the month and you're like, crap, I forgot, then yeah, you got to go back and do the rest. So, does that help, Linda?
Absolutely. Just sometimes we just need to hear it again.
Yeah, I
Because,
know it's,
and they'll go, what happened? What, I thought it was going to be there.
yeah.
And sometimes they just need to be reminded.
I wonder, you know what, I should maybe like, I wonder, I hope this will be helpful. Maybe we will do like a mid-month kind of check-in or like reminders for agents. I actually just switched from Kajabi. I told you on that call I was paying $499 a month for that. I just switched to Flowdesk and I switched to another system. But with the Flowdesk, I'm like, man, that's the best money I've ever paid personally. I think I'm paying like less than $40. I don't remember, but it's affordable. And anyways, I think that I'm going to do like a mid-month check-in with like our customers and our clients. Like, hey guys, don't forget, if you want, download the strategy. I hope that will be helpful. Did you guys, I'm not trying to be annoying with all the emails, but we're having fun and getting used to the system. But did you guys all get my emails from Flowdesk? Or at least some kind of an email from me?
I
I
got an
don't believe
email.
I have.
Okay. I notice I am going to spam quite a bit with the Flowdesk. I don't know if it's because I'm new, but let me put this in the chat. So for everybody watching the replay, I want all of you, so support at agentwisedesign.com. go look in your email, find my email from that, and please unmark me as spam, because that's where I send out the updates for like, hey, I'm teaching this class and that class, and you guys aren't getting that communication through your office per se. Michelle's actually pretty sweet. I know she was supposed to come on the call. She didn't feel good or something, but I know she's pretty sweet at updating the group for you guys. So
She's real good at that.
yeah.
Ladies, I need to step away for a moment. My granddaughters are leaving. I need to get them out the door, but it's been great.
Oh,
Thank you
good.
so much
Well,
for
we're
all
good
the
to go.
information.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it up just in case you guys are still talking. Are we gonna
Okay.
be able to get the replay of this, Ashley?
Yes, ma'am. You will. Yep, I'll have the replay.
Okay, perfect. Is that gonna be in our email? Is that gonna be
I will get it to
nationwide?
Michelle. I don't know how she's gonna get it out to y'all.
Okay.
I'll get it to Dana or Michelle, one or both.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Lots of great
You're
information.
welcome.
And you still have the Facebook page, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So,
Thank
all right, ladies. Well, unless you have any more questions, I think we're solid.
Thank you.
Yeah, Linda, you were hanging on me for 3 hours today. You're probably, this girl got to shut up and go.
Yeah, I
do
would
something
have.
else.
No, I'm visual and just figuring that out. So,
Yeah.
and the more you do it, the more it will become second nature. So,
Yes, it will be. And oh man, I can't like, I mean, I understand I built this call. I'm gonna stop this share real quick. Hold on. Let me stop this recording.